I'm glad you could come. I mean, this is awesome.
Very much.
Thanks for taking the time. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I appreciate you just taking the time to share your story and just talk about, you know, what's on your heart. So
I'm glad to. Please,
awesome.
any questions you have, I'll be glad to answer.
So, I mean, we'll be doing some other interviews too to talk about the organization that's brought you here and things like that. But I guess I'm really interested in your story, but then also your desire to share that with other people. So, I guess one of the things I'm curious about is what was your motivation for coming today? I mean, what's behind that?
Being invited to any community to help spread hope is my motivation. You know, around the world, we are lacking in hope right now. 33% rise in suicides in the last, I think, 2 decades. We have more suicides in the military, law enforcement, dentists, lawyers, than we've ever had before in the history of mankind. More of a depressive state than we've ever had since the 1920s, since the Great Depression. More suicides since then. We are dying at a large rate by liver, heart, lung, liver disease and from liver cirrhosis from alcoholism, opioid crisis, and suicide than ever before. And that motivates me to get up every day and do this work with my wife and my team and my family, because someone's got to. And we are a small cog, a tiny cog in the wheel. We're a speck of sand in the larger suicide prevention movement, but we're pushing forward to try to help people change their lives. What we're finding through the power of media, specifically video media, is that it's the fastest way to reach people right now. And so my wife and I founded a media company to scale our reach. And I think that coming to Danville and coming to Vermilion County is crucial, because you guys are hurting at a rate that is twice the rate of the rest of the civilian population of America, and that's terrifying. And so we really have to focus our efforts on what we can do today to not just inspire hope, but inspire long-term change. And I think that if we can get young people, middle-aged, old alike, to recognize that suicide isn't the answer when they're faced with a crisis of brain pain, we can do a world of good.
Awesome, very good. What do you feel like is, like, if you could just leave 1 or 2 things behind in Danville, in Vermilion County, when you leave, what would be the 1 or 2 things that you really want to leave behind?
You know, I think a lot of people say it gets better, and that's not, I don't think that's enough for people in that much pain. So I want to say I'll leave this behind. I'm in pain every day. 3 different types of pain that's excruciating. 2 physical, 1 brain. And I think that finding a way to hold gratitude for the pain can make you resilient, so you can find hope, so you can continue the journey. I think if we can help people recognize their ability to be grateful inside of the pain, so they can always survive it, then they can find a way to thrive. And that's the message I want to impart. It's not that tomorrow will just, you know, miraculously get better but it'll get better because of the hard work that you do to make it better. And, you know, that's hard to say for people that are in such a debilitating mental state that they can't even focus on what is or isn't real. I'm in a place now where I know what is reality, I know what is distorted reality. I still have all the symptoms I've ever had of my diagnosis. Hallucinations, auditory and visual, depression, paranoia. I'm able to manage that because of a routine. So if we can help parents, counselors, staff of these schools, as well as the community at large, be the guiding light to the people in the community who are younger, who are hurting, who are not well enough to recognize what to do, but they can implement these steps slowly to build a better mental well-being over time. So I want to impart 2 things: hope and wisdom, and that if you can muster it, to be grateful inside the pain so you can survive.
What do you say to the person that feels alone and feels like nobody understands them? What do you say to that person to encourage them to seek hope?
Today is not tomorrow. Just because you're in a world of hurt today Doesn't mean you don't get to have that beautiful tomorrow, but you gotta be here to get there in the first place, which is what I said today in the presentation. I'll repeat it many times. It's something it's a go-to of mine because I believe in it. I believe that, I mean, there are days when I break and I don't want to continue. But that's the day I talk the most about my pain to anyone willing to listen. Because then I can always survive. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll always be here tomorrow. We have people who find that motto very helpful because it's a 24-hour period. You just get to the next day and reset. If we can get people to do that one day at a time, and get them to recognize that one moment at a time, one day at a time, that they have value and that their lives don't have to end this way. We can and are helping a lot of people.
What do you say to a person in the community that maybe hasn't experienced that pain, but they want to help people that do? What would you communicate to that person? Like, what are ways that they can help? What are ways that they can, what are ways that I guess that the community can come together and help people that?
The community can do a few things. One real tangible thing we can do is write letters to the people in pain. The people we know in our community that are going through mental, brain, mind, behavioral health issues should be getting letters from those around them that are like caring letters. Jerry Motto created the caring letters in the 1970s. He was a psychiatrist back then. He worked for the VA hospital in California. And he would fight for the bridge, net, and rail to be put up before it would actually occur. And he invented these things called the caring letters and studied them. One of the only proven ways to reduce suicide in the VA system. When people would leave psych units, they would get these letters periodically. Hey, we were thinking about you, wondering how you're doing, seeing how things are settling up, and if you still need our help, we wanted to let you know we care. And the ones that got those letters were more likely to stay alive than the ones that didn't in the study they did. And at a very high rate, actually. So they ended up doing some data on it and proving that these kinds of things help save lives. What we can do in this community right now is rebirth these caring letters. You can write a letter that has 5 sentences: a compassionate sentence, a caring sentence, a non-judgmental sentence about what they're going through, unconditionally loving sentence, and a sentence about the trigger signs and symptoms of their diagnoses or their issues. All 5 things. 3 to 5 people write different but same letters to the one person, plus a caring package of all the things that person loves that they know about. You get that to someone. You don't just tell them you care about them, you show them. By showing them they have value, they then believe they have value, they then decide to stay. That's what the initial motto that Jerry Motto made was. It was just about showing people, showing up, being there for someone. We can all do that. We should all do that. And if we want to reduce suicides, we need to try everything. Because right now, suicide prevention at large is not working.
Mm-hmm. Good. Is there anything, Ashton, that you can think of that you would like to capture?
I think those were really good questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I put in the crisis information in the lifeline?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're in crisis right now, and you're watching this, can I look right at the camera?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So, let me know.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're watching this and you're in crisis right now, or you know someone who is, there's a couple things you can do. You can text CNQR to 741-741. CNQR to 741-741, the crisis text line. That's our foundation's Conquer keyword at the Kevin and Margaret Hines Foundation. C stands for courage to talk about your mental health. N stands for normalize the conversation. Q stands for ask the questions. Are you suicidal and have you made a plan to take your life? It doesn't put the thought in their mind. It actually gives people permission to talk about their pain. R stands for recovery, living proof. You can also call 1-800-273-8255, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, +1 for military, which the government is considering changing to 988, a 3-digit number, so it's more easily accessible. You can go to kevinhinesstory.com/resources and find 3 resources readily available and downloadable for you right now. One is The Art of Wellness, a 10-step guide to better brain health that is helping people all over the world. It's trainable, it's yours, it's free. Take it, download it, share it. Peer-to-peer trainable, clinician to peer trainable, clinician to patient trainable. You can also go get, and the second resource there is a Parents and Teachers and Clinicians Guide to Teen Suicide Prevention. That is co-authored by some of the greatest suicidologists in the field. It is one of the best and most heavily downloaded. You can go there for the third resource, which is a guide to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kevin Hines. 400 videos, all brain, mind, behavioral health help for you right now, done in entertaining, educational, and engaging ways with celebrities and non-celebrities to help you augment your destiny. Please utilize our services. Go to the Lifeline, go to the crisis text line if you're in crisis. Help us help you stay here. Help us help you be here tomorrow and every day after that. You are loved and you're meant to be here.